Hello everyone, hope you all are well. Today I will discuss about J operator, which is based on single phase AC circuit and resonance chapter. So myself Mr. Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department GKCM JIS Group, and my mail ID is santanu.uyt@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcm@jisgroup.org, and this is my Facebook page, Being Electrify with Santanu. You can get all the lecture in my Facebook page and also in my YouTube channel. So before starting this lecture, I want to share with you something that was told by the greatest scientist Albert Einstein, that most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong, it is the character. So let's talk about your syllabus. So this is your subject electric circuit theory and network, course code EES3CTN, and about this objective I have already discussed. So this review of basic concept of electric circuit I have already covered, and about the single phase AC circuit and resonance I will start here. Today I will discuss about study of J operator. So let's start. So before knowing J operator, you have to know what is complex number and phasor. The mathematics used in electrical engineering to add together resistance, current or DC voltage use what are called real numbers, used as either integers or as fractions. But real number are not the only kind of number we need to use, especially when dealing with frequency dependent sinusoidal source and vectors. As well as using normal or real number, complex number were introduced to allow complex equation to be solved with number that are the square root of negative number, which is root over minus 1. Okay. So in electrical engineering, this type of number is called imaginary number. And to distinguish an imaginary number from a real number, the letter J, known commonly in electrical engineering as the J operator, which is used. Thus, the letter J is placed in front of the real number to signify its imaginary number operation. Look at this equation. Okay. So example of imaginary numbers are like J3, J12, J100, like this. Then a complex number consists of two distinct but very much related part are real number plus an imaginary number. So like Z equals to 6 plus J4. So complex number represent point in a two-dimensional complex S-plane that are reference to two distinct axes. This horizontal axis is called real axis, this axis, while the vertical axis is called imaginary axis. The real and imaginary part of a complex number are abbreviated as real Z and imaginary Z, respectively. So complex number that are made up of real, the active component, and imaginary, the reactive component. So this number can be added, subtract, and used in exactly the same way as elementary algebra is used to analysis DC circuit. The rules and laws used in mathematics for the addition or subtraction of imaginary number are the same as for real number. Like if we add J2 and J4, it will be J6. The only difference is in multiplication, because two imaginary number multiplied together becomes a negative real number. Real number can also be thought of as a complex number but with a zero imaginary part labeled, which is J0. The J operator has a value exactly equal to the root over minus 1. So successive multiplication of J, that means J into J, will result minus 1. Look here, J square root over minus 1 whole square minus 1. Okay. And then J cube minus J and J to the power 4 plus 1. Okay. As a J operator is commonly used to indicate the anti-clockwise rotation of a vector, each successive multiplication or power of J, J square, J cube, etc. it will force the vector to rotate through a fixed angle of 90 degree in an anti-clockwise direction as shown in this figure. So likewise, if the multiplication of the vector result in a minus j, then the phase shift will be minus 19. Okay, so look here, this is the vector rotation of a j operator. Plus 1 0, omega is the rotation, plus j 90 degree, 180 degree j square minus 1, and 270 degree j cube minus j. And 90 degree in 90 degree rotation, the value of j is root over minus 1, 180 degree j square, which is root over minus 1 whole square, which is minus 1, 270 degree j cube root over minus 1 whole cube, which is j, and 360 degree j to the power 4, that's been root over minus 1 to the power 4, which is equals to 1. So by multiplying an imaginary number by j square, we will rotate the vector by 180 degree anti-clockwise, and multiplying j cube rotate it 270 degree, and by j to the power 4 rotates it 360 degree, or back to its original position. So multiplication by j to the power 10 or by j to the power 30 will cause the vector to rotate anti-clockwise by the appropriate amount. In each successive rotation, the magnitude of the vector always remains same. In electrical engineering, there are different ways to represent a complex number, either graphically or mathematically. One such way that uses the cosine and sine rule is called Cartesian or rectangular form. So let us discuss now about the complex number using the rectangular form. So we already discussed about the phasors. We saw that a complex number is represented by a real part and an imaginary part that takes the generalized form of z equals to x plus jy, where z is the complex number representing the vector, x is the real part or the active component, y is the imaginary part of the reactive component, and j is defined by root over minus 1. So in case the rectangular form or a complex number can be represented as a point on a two-dimensional plane called complex or S-plane. So for example, if z equals to 6 plus j4 represent a single point, look at this picture, whose coordinate represent 6 on the horizontal axis and 4 on the vertical imaginary axis. Okay, so let us discuss about the complex number using the complex or S-plane. So both the real and imaginary part of a complex number in the rectangular form can be either a positive number or a negative number. Then both the real and imaginary axis must also extend in both the positive and negative direction. These then produce a complex plane with 4 quadrants called an Argand diagram. So let us discuss about the 4 quadrant Argand diagram. So on the Argand diagram, the horizontal axis represent all positive real number to the right of the vertical imaginary axis and all negative real number to the left of the vertical imaginary axis. So all positive imaginary number are represented above the horizontal axis, while all the negative imaginary number are below the imaginary axis. Okay, this then produce a two-dimensional complex plane with 4 distinct quadrants labeled quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. This Argand diagram above can also be used to represent a rotating phasor as a point in the complex plane whose radius is given by the magnitude of the phasor. Will draw a full circle around it for every 2 pi by omega second. Then we can extend the idea further to show the definition of a complex number in both the polar and rectangular form of rotation of 90 degree. So look here,
if this is 0 degree, which is equals to plus minus 360 degree, that's mean a complete rotation which is equals to 1, and we can write in polar number 1 angle 0, and for rectangular number 1 plus j0. In 90 positive 90 degree, which is mean plus root over minus 1, which is equals to j. In polar form we can write 1 angle positive 90 equals to, in rectangular form, 0 plus j1. And if minus 90 degree, then minus root over minus 1, which is equals to minus j, and we can write in polar form 1 angle minus 90 degree. In rectangular form, 0 minus j1. And for 180 degree it becomes root over minus 1 whole square equals to minus 1, and in polar form we can write 1 angle plus minus 180 degree, in rectangular form minus 1 plus j0. So complex number can also have 0 real or imaginary part, such as z equals to 6 plus j0 or z equals to 0 plus j4. In this case, the points are plotted directly into the real or imaginary axis. Also, the angle of a complex number can be calculated using simple trigonometry to calculate the angle of right angle triangles, or measured anti-clockwise around the Argand diagram starting from the positive real axis. So then the angle between 0 to 90 degree will be the first quadrant. Angle theta between 90 degree to 180 degree is the second quadrant, and the third quadrant includes angle between 180 to 270 degree, while the fourth quadrant and the final quadrant, which completes the full circle, includes the angle between 270 and 360 degree, and so on. So in all the four quadrants, the relevant angles can be formed. This equation tan inverse imaginary component by real component. So in this Argand diagram, look here, the 6 plus j4 is a positive real axis, the value is 6, and positive imaginary axis, the value is 4. So this is 6 plus j4. And second quadrant, minus 7, this point is minus 7 plus j6. Because of this positive imaginary axis, the value is 6, and negative real axis, the value is 7. And here, this point, the negative imaginary axis, the value is 3, and positive negative real axis, the value is 2. So minus 2 minus j3 in third quadrant. And this point, because of this positive real axis, the value is 5, and negative imaginary axis, the value is 6. So 5 minus j6. So after this, I will discuss about the addition and subtraction of complex number. So the addition or subtraction of complex number can be done either mathematically or graphically in rectangular form. So for addition, the real part are firstly added together to form the real part of the sum, and then the imaginary part to form the imaginary part of the sum. And this process is follows using two complex number a and b example. So very simple process, just listen my voice. So complex addition and subtraction, let a equals to x plus jy and b equals to w plus jz. So we can write the formula is a plus b equals to x plus w plus j into y plus j, or a minus b x minus w plus j y minus z. Okay, so this is the formula. So let's take an example. Two vectors are defined as a equals to 4 plus j1 and b equals to 2 plus j3 respectively. Determines the sum and difference of the two vectors in both rectangular and graphical as an Argand diagram. So first, mathematical addition and subtraction. Look here, a plus b equals to 4 plus j1 plus 2 plus j3. Simple, the formula is 4 plus 2 like x plus w, 4 plus 2 plus j into 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3, which is 6 plus j4, and a minus b equals to 4 minus 2 plus 1 minus 3, which is equals to 2 minus j2. Okay, very easy. And if we plot it by graphical method, the addition and subtraction is become, look, the value of a is 4 plus j1, so look here, 4 plus j1, this is the point, 4 plus j1. Okay, this is 4 and this is 1. Okay, so 4 plus j1, like xy plot. And value of b is what? 2 plus j3. So the value is, this value is 3 and this is 2, 3. Okay, so if we make this addition, then a plus b equals to 6 plus j4. So 6 4, 6 plus j4. Like this, the subtraction, a minus b equals to 2 minus j2. So look here, 2 minus j2, this is the value, 2 minus j2, simple. So this is the addition and subtraction of complex number. This is the rectangular method and this is the graphical method. So after this I will discuss about the multiplication division of complex number. The multiplication of a complex number in the rectangular form follows more or less the same rules as for normal algebra, along with some additional rule for the successive multiplication of the j operator, where only j square equals to minus 1. So for example, multiplying together our two vectors from above, a equals to 4 plus j1 and b equals to 2 plus j3. So what is the following result? A into b equals to 4 into 2, 8, 4 into j3 equals to 4 into 3, 12, so j12, and j1 into 2, j2, and j1 into j3, j square 3. But we know that j square equals to minus 1, so this is minus 1, so this become 8 plus j12 and j2 is j14, so 8 plus j14 and this is minus 1, so minus 3. Very easy. So what becomes? A into b, 8 minus 3, 5, so 5 plus j14. So mathematically, the division of complex number in a rectangular form is little more difficult to perform, as it requires the use of denominator's conjugate function to convert the denominator of the equation into a real number. This is called rationalizing. Then the division of complex number is best carried out using polar form, which we will look at later. However, as an example, in rectangular form, let's find the value of vector a divided by v. So 4 plus j1 by 2 plus j3. So multiplying top and bottom by conjugate of 2 plus j3. Okay, so 4 plus j1 and by 2 plus j3, we multiplying top and bottom conjugate of 2 minus j3. So it becomes 8 minus j12 plus j2 minus j square 3 by 4 minus j6 plus j6 minus j square 9, which becomes 11 minus j10 by 13. We can write it 11 by 13 plus minus j10 by 13, which becomes 0.85 minus j 0.77. So now I will discuss about the complex conjugate. The complex conjugate, or simply conjugate of a complex number, is found by reversing the algebraic sign of the complex number, imaginary number only, while keeping the algebraic sign of the real number the same. And to identify the complex conjugate of a z, the symbol z dash is used like this. This becomes z dash. Okay, for example, the conjugate of z equals to 6 plus j4. okay, is then z dash equals to 6 minus j4. Likewise, the conjugate of z equals to 6 minus j4 is z dash equals to 6 plus j4. Very easy. So the point on the Argand diagram for a complex conjugate had the same horizontal position on the real axis as the original complex number, but opposite vertical position. Thus, complex conjugate can be thought as a reflection of a complex number. Look at this picture. The following example shows the complex number 6 plus j4 and its conjugate in the complex plane. So if a equals to 6 plus j4, then a dash equals to 6 minus j4. Likewise, the mirror image. So the sum of a complex number and its complex conjugate will always be a real number, as we have seen here. Then the addition of a complex number and its conjugate gives the result as a number or active component only, while their subtraction gives an imaginary number or reactive components only. The conjugate of a complex number is an important element used in electrical engineering to determine the apparent power of an AC circuit using rectangular. So as I told, I will discuss about the complex number using polar form. So unlike rectangular form, which plots point in the complex plane, the polar form of a complex number is written in terms of its magnitude and angle. Thus a polar form vector is represented as z equals to a angle plus minus theta, where z is the complex number in a polar form, a is the magnitude or module of the vector, and theta it is its angle or argument of a, which can be either positive or negative. So the magnitude and angle of the point still remain the same as for the rectangular form. This time in polar form, the location of the point is represented in triangular form as shown here. So as the polar representation of a point is based around the triangular form, we can use simple geometry of the triangle and especially trigonometry and Pythagoras theorem on triangle to find both the magnitude and the angle of the complex number. So as we remember from school trigonometry drills with the relationship between the sides and the angle of triangle, so we can describe the relationship between this side as a square equals to x square plus y square, a square equals to x square plus y square. Look here, very easy. Or we can write a equals to root over x square plus y square. Also we can say x equals to a cos theta, y equals to a sin theta. This is the angle theta. So using trigonometry again, the angle theta of A is given as follows: theta equals to tan inverse y plus x. So if we go through a simple example, we can easily understand the converting between rectangular form and polar form, which is the rectangular polar form into rectangular form is p to r, and rectangular form into polar form is r to p. So if we go through this example, it will be very clear to you. In the rectangular form, we can express a vector in terms of its rectangular coordinates, with the horizontal axis being its real axis and the vertical axis being its imaginary axis or j component. In polar form, these real and imaginary axes are simply represented by a angle theta. Then using our example here, the relationship between rectangular form and polar form can be defined. So first, converting polar form into rectangular form. So let's take 6 angle 30, which is equals to x plus dy in rectangular form. However, we know the formula: x equals to a cos theta, y equals to a sin theta. So 6 angle 30, that means 6 cos theta plus j 6 sin theta. Okay, and we can write 6 cos theta, the value of theta equals to 30. So 6 cos 30 plus j sin 6 sin 30. So 6 into 0.866, the value of cos 30, and j plus j into 6 into 0.5. Okay, so the sin 30 value is 0.5. So the converting of P to R, polar to rectangular form, 6 angle 30 equals to 5.2 plus J3. Okay, we can also convert back from rectangular form to polar form. Here the converting rectangular form into polar form, R to P. So 5.2 plus J3 equals to A angle theta. So the formula is A equals to root over 5.2 square plus 3 square, which is equals to 6, and we know that theta equals to tan inverse y plus x. So 3 by 5.2, which is 30 degree. So in rectangular form, 5.2 plus J3, in polar form is 6 angle 30. Very easy process. So let's just discuss about the polar form multiplication division. So rectangular form is the best for adding and subtracting complex number, as we can saw here, but polar form is often better for multiplying and dividing. To multiplying together two vectors in polar form, we must first multiplying together the two modulus or magnitude and then add together their angles. So multiplication of polar form, Z1 into Z2, which is equals to A1 into A2, and about the angle theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, so multiplying together 630 angle 30 and 8 minus 45 angle minus 45 in polar form, we can write Z into Z1, 6 into 8, and the angle 30 degree plus minus 45, which is become 48 angle minus 15. Okay, so division in polar form, likewise to divide together two vectors in polar form, we must divide the two modules and subtract their angle as shown here. So Z1 by Z2 equals to A1 by A2, and the angle will subtract, then theta 1 minus theta 2. So Z1 by Z2 equals to 6 by 8, and subtract the angle 30 minus 45. So it's become 0.75 angle 75 degree. So fortunately, in modern scientific calculator have built in mathematical function that allows for the easy conversion of rectangular to polar form and back from polar to rectangular form. So if you don't have the calculator, then use this formula. So after this, I will discuss about complex number using exponential form. So far we have considered complex number in the rectangular form, which is a plus jb, and the polar form a angle plus minus theta. But there is also a third method for representing a complex number, which is similar to the polar form, that corresponds to the length, which is magnitude, and the phase angle of the sinusoidal, but uses the base of the natural logarithm e, which value is 2.71828, to find the value of complex number. This third method is called exponential form. The exponential form uses the trigonometric function of both the sine and the cosine value of the right angle triangle to define the complex exponential as a rotation point in the complex plane. The exponential form of finding the position of the point is based around Euler's identifier, named after the Swiss mathematician Leonhard Euler, as given z equals to a e to the power j phi, and z equals to, we can write a within bracket cos phi plus j sin phi. So the Euler identity can be represented by the following rotation phasor diagram in the complex plane. Look here, we can see the Euler's identity for phi, the very similar to the polar form above, and that is so as the A number such as a e to the power j theta, which has a magnitude of 1, is also a complex number. Not only we convert complex number that are in exponential form easily into polar form, such as 2 to the power 2 e j to the j 30 e to the power j 30 equals to 2 angle 30, and 10 e to the power j 120 equals to 10 angle 120, and minus 6 e to the power j 90 equals to minus 6 angle 90. But Euler's identity also gives us a way of converting a complex number from its exponential form into its rectangular form. Then the relationship between exponential, polar and rectangular form is defined. A complex number is given as z equals to x plus jy equals to a angle theta and equals to, in exponential form, a within bracket cos phi plus j sin phi. So in last, I summarize the complex number lecture. So let us discuss about the summary of complex number. So complex number consists of two distinct numbers, a real number plus an imaginary number. Imaginary number are distinguished from a real number by the use of the j operator. A number with the letter j in front of it defines it's an imaginary number in the complex plane. By definition, the j operator, the value of j is root over minus 1. An imaginary number can be added, subtract, multiplied and divided as the same real number. The multiplication of j by j gives j square, which is equals to minus 1, because root over 1 into root over minus 1 into root over minus 1 equals to minus 1. In rectangular form, a complex number is represented by a point in space on the complex plane. In polar form, a complex number is represented by a line whose length is the amplitude and by the phase angle. In exponential form, a complex number is represented by a line and corresponding angle that use the base of the natural logarithm. A complex number can be represented in one of three ways: z equals to x plus jy. In rectangular form, z equals to a angle phi is polar form, and z equals to a e to the power j phi is exponential form. Euler's identity can be used to convert complex number from exponential form into rectangular form. So that's all about the lecture of complex number. Let us discuss about some reference book of this lecture, which is Circuit Theory and Network by S.P. Ghosh and A.K. Chakraborty. This is a very good book for diploma and BTech engineers. Then Circuit Theory, Analysis and Synthesis by Abhijit Chakraborty. This is also very simple book. And Circuit and System by K.M. Suni. According to my choice, this is the best book for BTech and diploma engineers. So thank you. Hope you all enjoy my lecture. If you have any query, then comment in my comment box. I will definitely reply to your comment. And please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Stay safe and stay happy.